Hello, the internet. Welcome to Dash Force News Three Amigos podcast. I'm here with my other fellow amigos, Mark
Hello.
and Brian.
Hello.
There we go. Yeah, we're got a very interesting week going on in cryptocurrency this week, and Dash in particular. So we got a lot of stuff to cover. In particular, pay attention to the live chat. Right, you can jump in and ask us any kinds of questions. Oh, hey, Ian. And yeah, this is going to be a good time. A good way to cap up your vicious work week of viciously refreshing coin market cap to pray that your coins have gone up, which they have not, but give it a few weeks. All right. So first on our agenda of not having an agenda at all, let's talk about the price.
Yeah, it's a bit surprising, isn't it?
Let me tell you, it's a rough one.
Well, it looked like it was going to, correct and fix itself. And maybe I was a bit too premature in putting out a meme on my Twitter. But generally, I am quite surprised. But I do believe part of this is a kind of backlash is the wrong word, but I do think the ICOs became so saturated, and we now know that the Ethereum coming down from, what was it, 36 billion to 18 or 19 billion in the space of 1 month had a very big impact, where we're all used to, if Bitcoin price comes down, that has a knock-on effect on all the coins. But where Ethereum got so close to Bitcoin, at one point, I think 36 billion, and Bitcoin was actually 38 billion. So we're so used to seeing the price come down with Bitcoin, but this is really the first time Ethereum's taken a hit, and it's had the same knock-on effect.
Yeah, it's been a domino effect a little bit. It's been Ethereum has some fiat trading pairs, right? More than probably any coin other than Bitcoin. But a lot of people still go through Bitcoin to get to the fiat world. So I know Charlie Shrem was complaining about that on Twitter, that all these people were just jumping the Ethereum ship by trading to Bitcoin to get at and then trying to sell their Bitcoin. And yeah, it's a problem that affects kind of the entire ecosystem to a certain degree. And we've seen, I mean, we beginning of the month, we were like 105 billion for the whole field. Now we're down to like 77, 78. So it did take a little tumble. I think part of that is definitely Ethereum related, and part of that is definitely Bitcoin related, right?
Yeah, the uncertainty.
There's-
Yeah, I think that's both of those exactly.
Yeah, and it's Bitcoin's not getting any more certain. It looks like the few core supporters are really digging in their heels, going for this August 1st date. SegWit 2x look like it's going on forward, but there's a little wild card. Our favorite Aussie Bitcoiner, Craig Wright, is really messing things up a little bit. Of course, he came in with his conference speech and all swearing at Raspberry Pis and all that stuff. But the big thing is he's promising that his company Enchain will start mining. I think he said Bitcoin Unlimited, right? And he said that would be around 20% of the network's hash rate, which that's obviously a big boast, but you can never say no until it actually happens, right? And then Roger Veer's been commenting on a lot of his stuff and sharing a lot of things, and it seems like, I don't know, it seems like Roger might not be completely down with SegWit 2x. In the last week or so, it seems like he's really flipped harder on SegWit, right? So we might have a three-way Bitcoin split. This is exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, not for the price.
Who are the three ways? The SegWit 2x, the Bitcoin Unlimited, and the
don't forget Bitmain in China. China's trying to figure out still what's going on, because they've always been on the other side. But Brian, I don't think we've had a chance to tell you it yet. Obviously, everything we do in Dash was completely balanced, and Joel did an article about this today. And speaking of Roger there, he actually replied in the comments. So Joel, as you wrote the article, I think you should probably do the honors on that, because it was a fantastic comment and completely unexpected. But it just shows you about the whole situation in Bitcoin's becoming more dire by the day.
Yes. So for one thing, Roger Ver is definitely a little bit of a stalker online. If you look at his tweet history and his Reddit history, he just like says stuff and then just doesn't really respond very much to it. I assume that has a lot to do with haters. But anyway, he ferreted right away. He ferreted out the article where I mentioned him today, and he said, Dash feels like the happy community that Bitcoin used to be.
Nice.
Boom.
You couldn't script it any better.
It wasn't even it wasn't even such a happy article. It was an article about how Bitcoin's going to shit.
Rivalry, wasn't it? That's why I did the whole boxing image to say, like, you know, oh, the drama just continues. It's annoying.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a pleasant part of Bitcoin's news. I did take a little bit longer than usual trying to write it to make sure I didn't bungle facts or, you know, have him. I was actually afraid of him coming in and saying, that's not at all true. I'm still this. Why are you stirring up drama? But, you know, I took it carefully, and then you seemed this last paragraph, just one small paragraph at the end about how Dash is handling scaling, and there's really not been a lot of disagreements or drama over Dash's scaling plans. So, but yeah, so it's I have minimally kept up with the Bitcoin scaling debate, and from what I've been able to see, it appears like Bitmain is preparing a hard fork to their own coin, which is not Bitcoin Unlimited, which it seems like Roger Ver and now Craig Wright are looking to possibly fork off to. And then there's SegWit 2x, and then there's Luke Coin or whatever. I don't even know if there's just so many things that are in the works, and it seems like SegWit 2x is the only one that has the real chance of being a coin in a month's time. The other ones could be. So we could have one Bitcoin, we could have like 4 or 5.
Well, they have 87%, right? That's what the article said. That's very dominant.
Yeah, a lot of that is invariably coming from Antpool, though, right? Yes, Antpool is definitely Antpool, and Bitcoin.com are signaling SegWit 2x intention, and yeah, that's a lot that can what is it? The Bitcoin Unlimited is up past 45% again. So that's like almost enough to split. It's just interesting times, let me tell you.
Now, Roger, he's commented on our stuff before in the comment section. I remember, right? A while back, there was another article that I believe he chimed in about.
Yeah, so he definitely, as any, you know, intelligent, educated person would, he definitely keeps tabs on what's happening in the ecosystem. I like that the Dash community has gotten his attention. There's a lot of it's a very weird time because it's still a Bitcoin dominated world, and Bitcoin's been dominated by not moving forward, by just strife and things like that for so long that there hasn't been much action. It's been just kind of not just a stalemate in scaling, but it's been like a stalemate in forward momentum too. Do you want to chime in there, Mark?
Yeah, guys, sorry to interrupt. I can't actually see what you guys are talking at the moment. Graham DeBarra, CEO of BitCart, is going to be joining us any second, and I'm just sending him the link now, and he's just saying, like, can I join now? So instead of him just coming in, because I think there's going to be a lot of background noise, and I've told him not to swear as well.
Oh, who cares?
So yeah, people don't be alarmed when Graham joins in abruptly, because he's live at the Festi launch event, and
yeah.
Just a little backstory, it was completely unplanned, and it was actually offered by Graham. Charlie Shrem was actually meant to be on the show tonight, but he's postponed until next week. And that was instigated just by me asking for him to give like an update on his proposal. And when he cancelled because Charlie had some wedding prep he had to do, I don't believe it's his own, it must be for a friend or family member. But Graham chimed in and said, hey, I'll do it. I'm live at the event. And I believe the event's it launched at 6 p.m. It goes until 10. It's 8 p.m. It's gone 8 p.m. GMT time. So it's already a good 2 hours in. So yeah, it's going to be exciting times. Yes, unscripted as always.
It's especially going to be interesting because it's at the Festi launch party. Now, for the viewers at home, Festi, we wrote about it, was it yesterday, about it's a new wristband that's going to be a Dash wallet that you can use for offline payments at geared towards festivals, right? Hence the name Festi. And so that's been always a big thing. Maybe we can let Graham talk a little bit more about Festi. We were just pitching your product there.
Hey, Graham. How's it going? Have we got any audio? No mic?
Yeah.
He was hitting it.
Well, we can definitely see you all right.
Yeah, we can see you.
You can't hear?
No, we've got no mic. We've got no audio coming from.
Oh, there it goes. We hear background noise. We hear the party. The party has started.
How's it going, Graham?
He may not be able to hear.
Yes, I definitely hear the busy sounds of a conference.
It sounds busy.
What are you paying for with your festies over there? You don't have to disclose it. Just curious.
Yeah, tell him.
Sorry, Joel, can you hear me?
Oh,
there
great.
you go. There he is.
Hi, guys.
Hey, how's it going?
There we go.
I don't know if you can see me or just hear me.
No, you're
Both,
good.
both.
They can do both.
Oh, great. Hi, Dash.
Hi. It's like a nice party you got going on there.
So yeah,
Very cool.
to be streaming in with you guys. So I'll go somewhere quieter for the moment. That's better.
Yeah, so first question on our off-scripted agenda. Does it work?
No, it's a proof of concept. This is not meant to work. The idea is to showcase something for consumers and merchants so that we can get a head start and already make partnerships with like the Cork Chamber of Commerce, which is our city chamber of commerce. So they're in charge of commerce and financial institutions and such. So they were here earlier today. We have partnered with 13 bars in Cork City, and we have also partnered with the Irish Music Festival as well. So the idea is actually to bring these partners and stakeholders together and actually show them how it will work, how it works. Currently, we have a private blockchain, which is what we're using at the moment. And so we're doing it in a very controlled, quite centralized manner, right? So this is the idea is we're doing a proof of concept for a closed environment. This isn't ready to go public. So we're really trying to, play down any sort of, false promise or anything. This will be rolled out in a number of months. We're taking things very cautiously. We don't want to, we're dealing with people's money. We're dealing with wallets. We want to do things very well. But I'm delighted to say that, it's going very well so far. The proof of concept is working. We do have a working app, and payments are being made. So, yeah, that's great. Whenever we're finished doing these questions as well, I can go out and I can actually show you guys just what an example of a simple transaction as well. So, yeah.
That'd be great. So you got one festival signed up already?
Yeah, correct. We have a festival called Atlantic Songbook in Ireland. So this will be a festival that will run from it's the longest festival in the world. So it's kind of like a big pub trail and festival for tourists coming into the country, mostly Americans, that they will basically arrive in Cork and they get their festi and we bring them, the festival brings them around the country. So so for 2 weeks. And you can spend your festi at any of the bars along the way, right? So that's why it was very, I suppose, beneficial for them, was that they could just have this simple payment for tourists who are coming into the country and they don't want to exchange their dollars, or maybe, they have difficulties doing that without being, charged a very big fee. So that's the idea from the tourism perspective, which this is nice kind of festival. It kind of incorporates tourism into it as well. So it's we're really looking forward to that. I think that festival launches in a couple of months, so hopefully we'll have something ready for them as well. But either way, like, it's just showing that there's a lot of interest. So one question I suppose some people were initially a little bit unsure about was, would merchants be interested in supporting Dash and accepting Dash, and do they need to know about it, and will it be hard, will it be too difficult? And the answer is, like, it's actually been the easiest thing. It's the easiest sell when you can look a businessman in the eye and say, I can save you on the fees by...
Oh, I think we lost him for a minute.
Oh, it's getting good as well.
Yes. Well, the direct
It's very easy sell. So we're so far in terms of marketing this and selling this to the government here in Ireland. They're very interested.
Wow.
They worked very closely with Visa a number of 2 years ago to set up the contactless. So Cork is a contactless city, which means that people just with their Visa cards, they don't put it in anymore and do the chip and pin. They just tap it. And with a population of 4 million people, we do 3 million taps a week. So that just shows everyone in the country is using this type of technology already.
Have you had any support or help from the Dash business development team? Because this has been like a ninja launch. It was like completely unexpected, just out of the blue. Okay. Yeah. Have you had any support or help this time round with the Dash business development team? Because we know they was involved and helped support you before with Bitcart. Have you gone solo on this one, or has the core business development team assisted in any way?
So the initial conception of this was to actually do it alone. We came up with this concept about 12 months ago, and we've been working on the development for about 3 months. When Dash initially came to the Opera Incubator here in Cork, where we're developing our blockchain companies and technology, Fernando was very impressed with the entire setup that we're doing here, where, you know, as a small country, it actually plays a very nice kind of prototype in real life, a public prototype for this type of technology. It's much easier, in other words, to talk to the local city council here and the universities and say, this is what we believe, this is where we're going with this. So far, the feedback has been excellent. So Fernando, going back then to Dash, has basically told them that, look, they're developing this other thing called Festi. That was 3 months ago. So within that 3 months, obviously there were things that we weren't comfortable going right in and just talking to the business development team, like Daniel Diaz immediately right after the Bitcart agreement, right? We did the MOU in a number of months ago for Bitcart. We furthered that partnership again in Consensus 2017. We strengthened that partnership, and the way that Fernando and others in the Dash Force or the Dash core team, they're looking at this like that. It's a strengthening of partnerships. So as we proceed and as we continue to grow as a company, Dash continue to grow as well. Bitcart is currently doing about $100,000 a month.
Wow.
And it only accepts Dash. So if you can show me another merchant that's doing $100,000 a month, then I'd like to see it. I think we're the biggest Dash accepting company in Ireland. Are we the largest Dash accepting company in Europe? I would say maybe. I don't want to go that far, maybe. So the idea then for Festi, that's a gift card platform. Festi is an everyday payments platform. That's so suited so well to Dash that within that 3 months of of Dash coming here, we further developed the relationship with Bitcart. There were a number of milestones that actually we had to attain. We are still going by that roadmap. So it's performance led, it's performance based. We don't get paid until we develop something and we show it to you, right? So we haven't got any support for this launch. We haven't received any support, actually. It's all been funded through Bitcart. So therefore, the relationship is going ahead with Dash. It's going ahead very well, but it's not a very fast thing either. We have to always look at contracts. We have to talk. We have to meet. We have to do everything. There's actually someone from Dash coming down here now, today. Hi, Connor. There's actually someone from Dash who actually lives here in Ireland, and I never knew this. He's a new developer called Oleg, and he's in his car right now on the way down. These are the types of relationship and bonding that we need as a business and as a community before we start going into agreements and relationships. So yeah, don't worry. We hope to get support from Dash and to continue doing that. But there's a number of checks, and Dash are doing a number of things before they will do that. So we're looking forward to meeting Oleg here for the first time as well, and looking forward to you guys, I suppose, hearing what his feedback is as well of everything we're doing. So yeah, the answer is yes. I hope in the near future I have signed an MOU with Dash. So I think it's a very good product for Dash. I think the core team have only been very helpful, and yeah, I hope to really strengthen that relationship very soon. Yeah.
Yeah, so we actually have a question for you from the live chat from Dash Aerosports saying, I need Graham's approval to add bitcart.io minus 15% off of Amazon marketing to the team's plane wraps.
That's amazing. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. All right, there you
if I
go.
can ever ride in one of those planes with you, please. Like that would be amazing as well. Like, or if we can get a little BitCard thing on the side or something, that would be cool. I don't know if you can pay for a plane now with BitCard, like, but I don't know. That's awesome, man. Like, if you can tell me where that is.
Free, yeah.
Yeah, we can hook you up with Scott afterwards. We'll pass on his email and you can talk, because we're going to have our own Dash Force One as well. So Scott is absolutely amazing, and he's doing lots of tours, flying about. So he's even going to places like China, and he's just, yeah, it's really amazing.
That's incredible.
Yeah. We had one question before. Was this what you was going to ask, Brian?
I can't see it. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, we had one question before Scott, which was from Dave, which was, how will Festi be funded? Is it attached to a credit card? Is it prepaid? How does it work? What's the process?
Okay, that's a good question. And the Chamber of Commerce actually asked the same question earlier. They said, oh, how many people know about Dash in Cork, and how do they need to know about it to get into it? In other words, the question is, can fiat currency be applicable or applied to this technology? The answer is yes. So, as you know, General Bytes ATMs are, they have an NFC reader installed onto them, right? So our plan to get the mainstream local everyday people who may not have heard of Dash before to get involved is by having these ATMs in the city, right? So people can, these will be loaded, right, as promotions, so that people would go out, they might get a free beer or a discount first, and then they're left with a wristband, so they need to actually actively top that up. They can do that with cash using the ATMs. They can also do that using a credit card online beforehand if they want to top it up, preload it before they go out. They can also do it with a bank transfer. So in Ireland, we have just instant bank transfers between banks. So if you're the same bank, so basically we can accommodate for all the, this is also obviously just talking about Ireland alone for the moment. We can accommodate for all the banks here so that people can make bank transactions and bank transfers, and they can actually top up the wristband using those three methods. Now, going forward and expanding beyond Ireland, that's something we have to look at, and we have to be careful, because credit cards are very hard to accept. It's highly risky. So we have to be careful with that. But certainly, crypto immediately. Cash, fiat to crypto using ATM immediately. Credit card, we're still looking at, but there is a major company in Ireland who do financial payment processing who we might look towards if we're looking at the credit card integration, because I think it's important as well that we get the mainstream, right? We're not just looking at the crypto enthusiasts. We're not just another debit card. We're getting this to mainstream festivals and mainstream bars and venues as well. So the idea is to make it as simple as possible. So, we will try to accommodate for every type of top-up, yeah.
I had a question about, I think in the Tao of Satoshi interview, you had mentioned something about that y'all are backing all the gift cards, like guaranteeing them. Is that correct as far as chargebacks or?
Absolutely. We stand by everything that we send out as a company. If there's ever any problems, we can be communicated with at bitcart@operaincubator.com. That's our, unfortunately, we got DDoSed a number of weeks ago. That's our temporary email at the moment. If anyone is having issues, please email that email address, because the old email address will bounce back. If you are having any delays, if you are having any problems with the gift cards themselves, please just message me. There's absolutely 100% guaranteed. We stand over that as a company, yeah.
I had to check your spam box, your spam folder as well, guys, like last week.
Yes, check your spam box, please. I know I was watching that. No, but like that's something that we need to fix, right? We need to make sure that our emails don't go to the spam box, because even to waste 5 or 10 minutes as a company to go through an email that's asking just tell them that it's in a spam box. That's something that we need to fix as well, right? So yes, check your spam box before emailing us, but in the future, that won't be a problem either. So don't worry.
Yeah, I had an issue with Amazon just this week, or with Purse actually, just this week with the chargeback on a return I did. So I've learned my lesson. I'm 100% BitCart now, although I was 90% before. So yeah, that's good to. I'm glad y'all stand behind that because yeah, I also had the same issue with eBay gift cards. So yeah, I'm 100% BitCart now.
Brian, if you wouldn't, sorry, Brian, if you wouldn't mind, just because it's between you and me, if you could send me, you could email me more information about that, specifically with that other company. I'm just interested in the risk element or that risk management element. So if you could email me details about that, I could look into it and just make sure that, first of all, whatever that was, they try to get an explanation, and also just make sure that. That obviously we're not doing the same thing, but we're not. But it's just very important that this information is spread across, because we can't have people using a service like that where they're getting chargebacks. That's
yeah. It was through Purse. So yeah, BitCart. I've never had a problem with BitCart.
Yeah. But even still, I'd be just curious. I'd just be curious. Like, did they have a particular IP address? Did they have? I don't know if you even know that information. Did they have any stats where they? Because I understand that that's a marketplace. So you as a consumer is taking 100% of the risk. You're assuming and you're trusting that other person who's on that marketplace. And I don't know, I guess Purse must have reimbursed you, I guess. Was that?
I had purchased something. I shape-shifted the Dash into Purse, and then I bought something, 3 items, and I ended up returning 2 of the items, but it never credited to the account. And turns out that the person did a chargeback, and that's why they never refunded me. And yeah, I do have some more information. I'll send it to you.
Please. And I think Purse do reimburse you. To be fair, I think Purse do reimburse you as well. So just
no, they didn't. Yeah, they. Well, I don't know about Purse. I reached out to them, and they said they were going to investigate. I know Amazon's not going to do anything about it, even though they've got the merchandise back. But yeah, they're not doing anything about it.
That's an interesting one. Yeah, do Purse work with Amazon? Are they official partnership?
I do not know. They are investigating the issue.
Okay.
Yeah, the person. Yeah, the scary part is the person that I got it from. They had like 106 or so sales, so I figured they were very good. They've been selling for a while, but I guess they went rogue and exit scammed.
I'd say they just are pretty inexperienced. 106 is not a lot, considering we probably have about 5,000 unique users. So like 106 trades. He might have mistaken it. It might have been an act of just ignorance. Like risk management, even in Amazon, is very difficult. So he needs to be on his top performance if he's getting into this game. So it's probably ignorance, really, and hopefully he'll either learn a lesson or he won't be allowed back on the website.
Yeah, I think I know they said that they suspended the account on Amazon, so that they suspended the person's account. And yeah, Purse is investigating. If they would give me a refund, that would be great. What I've noticed is that Purse started off, it was 30% or even 35% I used to get, and now I can't even 20%. You're lucky if you wait a week or so. So yeah, and plus you can't do all the stuff that you can do with BitCart, like the Amazon Prime, and there's just so much. So yeah, I'm pretty much done with Purse. I took all my Bitcoin that I had just yesterday and transferred it all out of Purse and onto my Jax wallet. And I will be using BitCart. I was going to use it last night, but I will be ordering some more gift cards today.
Great, Brian. I'm delighted to hear it, and thanks very much for your business. It's really appreciated. Like this type of support for us, and like loyalty, brand loyalty, is really important because it allows us to keep growing as well. That we're looking long term, right? We're looking down the line. So by having customers like yourself here so early and supporting us means an awful lot. So thanks for that.
The service keeps getting better and better. I mean, it started off, I think it was 24 to 48 because y'all had such a rush. But yeah, the last couple of times it's been within, hours, even an hour. It keeps getting better and better. Very impressed. Two more quick questions. I've seen on the Slack and stuff. There was one about the hotels.com, and then if I remember correctly, y'all were going to launch a credit card. I don't know if that was the Festi thing or if that was something separate.
The first one there, just on the hotels.com, we've pushed back that date for a while. there's still a number of checks that I need to do before I'd be comfortable putting it, publicizing it online. So for that, I would just wait off a month, 2 months, just wait for an update from ourselves. So that's that. And then on the other question on the credit card, so just to rephrase, so what it was in response to Amanda B. Johnson's pain points video. So it was about like introducing to her, I think it was her grandfather or her uncle, I think, about introducing that person to Dash, and they were finding it very difficult. And obviously they just wanted to get a credit card, just get it out and just buy. We will have a feature on BigCard, so separate to Festi, right? We treat that separately. We will have a feature on BigCard where you'll be able to go onto the bigcard.io website, and under the buy is a sell, so you can go sell, and then you're redirected to the Amazon website. If you have an account there, which I assume most people would, you can purchase a gift card there with your credit card, send it to us, and then we will pay you in Dash. So that's a form of, I suppose, a form of where a credit card would be accepted, or at least indirectly accepted, if you know what I mean. So like Amazon take on then that risk, that the credit card, and then the gift card then would just be going directly to us, you know.
Very good.
So guys, do you want me to show you an actual transaction here? Will I try go get a burger or something here and see and show you?
Yes. Yeah, do
Yeah,
it.
sure.
We've got more questions.
I hope you're not.
afterwards, but go
You
for
haven't
it.
eaten already, and you're just eating twice.
All these festies, all eating and drinking with their festies, so it's cool.
Awesome.
Hello.
We'll test it out.
Oh, yeah, you want to test
Yeah.
it out? Yeah, but we need the small J.
You're going to buy a beer, is it? Okay, so I'm just going to face the camera here. So this is Flo. Flo's the barman here. And
Voila.
I think it might just be running
So
dry.
this is for you.
okay. So for example, now you just see, if you can see, he just scanned my Festi.
I see he has 120 bucks on his account. Now we charge one beer. You
And
have the one beer.
I'll give you a tip.
$3.
I'll give you a tip.
Give me a tip. Thank you. That's really.
So you
kind
see
of
the
you.
4.
I pay. And then that's it. And if you scan,
And then you scan again and you see the balance.
it's 160.
So 160. I don't know how much that came out. Do you want me to do that again?
$4.
Did you get that?
So it depends. So the merchants all have an application that they have to run, but
Precisely.
will they know what your balance is? So basically, it shows what your balance is, right?
So for now, on the particular app that we have now for a closed environment, such as this is the proof of concept, we have both, right? So I'll show you the screen again. We have the amount that the person has on the wristband, the amount of the invoice or the amount of the beer, for example, which is 0. I haven't pressed it yet. And then, so you see both. So you see I think what we would prefer in the future, right? And we have 2 apps. So we have a merchant app and we have a consumer app. So we can just shift any of the privacy, anything like your balance, right? We could just actually shift that just onto the consumer app. So that's what you see. And then on the merchant app, instead of seeing that, sorry, just go back a slide. Instead of seeing that amount, like 116, which is my balance, you could just see that equivalent in Dash, for example. So it could show you like the local currency on the right and the Dash on the left. That's how we'd ideally like it on the merchant side, so they wouldn't see your balance, obviously. And on the consumer side, at any time, you can open your phone, open the app, just tap it on your wristband, you see what your balance is. So you could check that before or after you make your purchase, just to double check, and then you go to your bar, and then he just uses the merchant app. So there's 2 apps.
Yes. Now I had a question that was actually relayed to me by a friend of mine. He's a festival goer. He's like 18 years old, and he thought the idea was really great. But his first thing is, dude, what if someone jacks you? What if someone steals the wristband and then you just go on a spending spree? Like, is there an anti-theft mechanism for that?
Yeah, that's really important. Like, we're dealing with money here, yeah? Like, so security is the utmost important thing, right? So I suppose how to reply to that is, first of all, if you lose your wristband, first of all, it's a wristband that's in a festival, right? So it's tied, so you can't actually easily tear that off. But if you're unlucky and somehow someone's tearing it off you, maybe you got robbed, you can open. Sorry.
Scissors, possibly.
What?
A thief could potentially slip a pair of scissors in there and cut it, and then take off.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't cut you, but yeah, he might just cut. If he's lucky, he might just cut the wristband and just get away with some money. You can open your app. You can disable, deactivate the wristband at any time. So you can do that from our website, festipay.com, which just went live today, which has more information if you want to read more. And that situation would allow someone someone has the power at any time, 24/7, to just click open the app and just disable it. Now, there's another element to it as well, right? We want to make this fully customizable. And I mean that fully customizable in terms of the control you have over spending limits, the control you have over whether you want a password 2FA or not. So this is really down to the merchant, this is down to consumer themselves. And if they want to take more responsibility, like they might want, for example, in Ireland, for a Visa debit contactless card, you can tap up to one transaction of worth €30 4 times a day. And then it just can't do it anymore. So in the case that you lose your Visa card, you will only lose €120. Potentially, you can't lose everything. We can put something like that in. What I don't like about that though is that they decide what the limit is, €30. So the user in this case will be able to say, well, I want to do contactless payments without any payment at all, or without any password at all. Up to, let's say, one beer, €5 or €10 or €20 or €50 if they want. Or I'm very cautious. I don't want any contactless payments without my authorization. And I want that authorization as a password. So then every time it scans, it's required to get a password. I would say places like festivals would be better to have a spending limit and a password than, say, if you're in your everyday life. I would say that it would be obviously a lot easier for someone to walk around in a festival, and potentially rob you than it would be, kind of outside of a festival or whatever. You might not be in the same environment. But I think it should be down to the consumer themselves, what control they put on their money. And so that's what we want to do, is to really empower a person to look after their money themselves in whatever way they see fit.
Yeah, there's an idea that came to mind. Would it be possible to have another offline solution to emergency cancel the account? For example, say your festi gets stolen and you don't have any connection there at the festival, but you have a little backup thing. You just rush to Mert and say, please scan this quickly, and then it shuts off your thing.
At a festival, that's a lot easier to do than in real life. That would actually be very simple for someone to run to security, say the same way if they were robbed and their ticket was taken off them, to go to make themselves known to security that this has happened, and then on site we would have like a festi hut, for example, or a festi yurt if we're lucky, and that's where people can come in case of emergencies or questions and support. We always want to have support available. And security is the utmost importance. So yeah, it needs to be possible for people to deactivate these if they are robbed at any time, or have a password on it beforehand so that if they are robbed, nothing can be stolen from it. I do think that's very important.
So is the Festi scheduled to go live Q3 worldwide, or is it just there, or is it everywhere?
Yes, we are definitely looking at the global market because Ireland is tiny. However, what's good about Ireland, I think I mentioned earlier, was just how it's just such a small city, right? So like Cork is such a small city. We're talking about 200,000 people maybe. We'll bring it here first. We'll start with one bar, one of the 13 bars. We'll start with one of them. We'll do another launch there, so a public launch, right? This is kind of like a soft launch, just with partners and stuff. So then we grow from there. Once that's done well, once we get a lot of feedback, we do usability tests. We make sure that we get a consumer's perspective, we get the merchant's perspective, we get the developer's perspective. We grow, we go into other bars in Cork, we go to Dublin, we take it to Dublin, we take it to London, we take it to the UK, we take it to America. I think the end goal is definitely to expand beyond Europe and America into Asia. I think that's a very interesting market, because you could fit the entire population of Europe and the entire population of America, double it, and it's still not the population of China. So if we're to really take this thing to the next level, I think we're talking about bringing it to the Asian market as well.
So Q3 is worldwide or just local there?
Local.
Okay.
Okay, Graham. When you first came in, unfortunately there was a bit of a connection issue, and you just started to talk about the merchant incentives in terms of the fees. So could you just go over that again, please? So imagine I'm a merchant and say, why should I use Festi?
Apologies for the connection issue. I'll say that again. So as a merchant, it's very easy for us to how are you doing? It's very easy for us to actually sell this to them, when a lot of people might have thought that it's difficult for merchants to accept something like Dash or cryptocurrencies. They might not have heard of it. But when you can go to a merchant and you can say definitively that they will save 50% of their fees or more by accepting a cryptocurrency like Dash and Festi at their establishment, rather than a Visa card or a credit card where they're paying between 2 to 4%. In one of the examples, like even in one of the bar owners that we interviewed, or that we kind of were chatting with, that would equate to, between all the bars that he owns, he's being paid about €500,000 to on bank fees a year alone. So for him to be able to save, and saying the words even 50%, is incredible for someone like that. That's life-changing. So he's completely behind it straight away because of that reason and that reason alone. Now there are other benefits as well to just saving on the merchant fee. The other benefits would be like no possibility of chargebacks, right? That's a major one as well. I know retail is probably a little bit less than online, but you could have some luxury stores like where we would want to bring this, like a luxury wristband, to maybe some high-end shops in London or Dublin, for example, and that become, it's a big deal. So no chargebacks is a big thing. I would say just overall, like for a merchant as well, you don't need a bank account. You don't need to go to the bank, and you don't need to ask them or apply for accepting Visa payments. This can be quite difficult for a bar owner, for example, if they were trading pre-2008, right? A lot of the bar owners would have gotten into a lot of financial trouble as a result of the 2008 recession, in particular in Ireland, where we suffered more than anyone in Europe, actually, where all these loans were requested back. So a lot of pubs actually defaulted and closed down in 2008. We're kind of back to normal, kind of again. Pubs are opening again. They can't get bank accounts because of their previous trading history with their old pub. So they can't even get bank accounts. So for them, it's also very good that you're talking about unbanked bar owners, which is strange to think about, but they can't even get access to a bank account. That's another good reason. Really, I think when it comes down to it in Ireland, you talk to anyone, you say the word bank, you better duck. We make up 1% of the European Union's population, and we paid back 49% of its debt. I'm very pro-Europe, but when it comes to the financial element, just saying that one to you, Mark. I can definitely understand a lot of the frustrations that are business owners and entrepreneurs and self-employed people, and everyone who was employed before 2008. I can understand their frustrations at the bank. So that's another very easy selling point. We're doing this without a centralized authority. What's not brilliant or to love about that, when you tell someone that, first you start with saving your money. Now they listen to you. Then you start talking about this other stuff, blockchain technology. They absolutely love it. They really, really love it. So it's been one of the easier sells that I've ever made in terms of the crypto space, definitely.
Yes, so I only have 2 extra quick questions personally. First, the Festi point of sale, right? Will it also support traditional Dash transactions, or will you need the wristband?
No, you won't need the wristband. So we will be looking at other products as well, right? So the wristband actually has a QR code and an NFC on it. So there's no reason why people can't just do offline and QR code scanning, or if they want to just do P2P direct. There's no reason they can't do that. Yeah, I would say that generally it would either be the wristband for the moment. Other products to come in the line, I can't really say too much, but definitely on the app, you could just use your phone, for example. So you could just do direct. Does that answer your question?
I suppose. I guess so. You have a merchant that uses Festi, right? And then you have someone's coming in saying,
Oh,
"I heard you. I heard you guys take Dash."
Yeah.
You're
I
gonna
understand what
pay.
you mean. So I'll actually, I think that should be absolutely fine, but it's not up to me. The reason is, it's to do with the revenue. It's to do with your taxes at the end of the year, and also as an employer. If you have an employee running a POS system that is now on their phone that's able to start accepting Dash payments with circumventing your POS system or circumventing that system, which is auditable, which is what's sent to the revenue every year, that can be a little bit uneasy for merchants. I have never met the reason why I haven't tried to take this to pub owners and festival owners before is that reason. I never thought that it would be professional enough. I never thought it would be secure enough. I never thought it would be compliant. What's good about this is that it's integrating with existing POS systems, right? So this actually makes it very beneficial for merchants and bar owners. So I'm just looking at one of the bar owners leaving now. So she actually sponsored the party tonight, which is really nice. So I'm gonna have to say goodbye to her when she passes. But Judy, see you. Bye. Yeah, see you. So yeah, that's the issue, is actually to get the account for accounting. That's the issue. So while I completely agree with P2P 100%, there are some merchants, particularly big companies, that might not want to trust their employees to just be able to do P2P transactions like that.
Okay.
All right.
There's two questions in the live chat. One is Bitcart related, so we'll leave that to the end. I'll just stay on Festi for now. One question is actually from Scott. He's the Dash Aerosports guy with the plane. So he's asked that this would be amazing for sending my kids to a special event with a spending limit. So it clearly has other applications apart from festivals. I can imagine school dinners and stuff as well with kids, or even arcades, amusements, theme parks.
Yeah, sending your kid out on a date, right? Yeah, go have fun, not too much fun.
Yeah, and the parents can track their spending as well. Maybe, I don't know. That could be, I don't know. For the parents, that's good if you're a minor and stuff. Yeah, and you want to control your spends. It's like a parent lock, I suppose, kind of, without giving them like a real credit card, but they get the benefit of it. And that's actually a great point. Now we're able to actually give kids money. We're able to give kids Visa cards without any bank, really. We're able to give them the same quality that an 18-year-old can get, but you can now get it at the age of 9. Imagine if you got that for your birthday, and all of a sudden you're into cryptocurrencies, like that's actually really cool. That you could actually look at it from the parents' perspective as well. I haven't thought about that. So thanks, Scott. We need to talk more.
Yes,
well, I guess it's also
it's quite a few people I could give that to.
It's a security point of view as well for users and merchants, because just like Alt 36 and the cannabis, there's a danger with merchants holding on to cash, a security issue of being robbed. So not actually holding physical cash is a big security plus using this method, and also for users as well, because they don't have to worry, because then if there is a safety mechanism built in, if you do lose it or it does get robbed, then it's actually a lot safer.
Yeah, we're not bootlegging alcohol in the bars here. It's not prohibition anymore, thankfully. So, there won't be lots of wads of cash driving around with military guns like it is in Colorado. So it's not like a major problem like that. But from the point of view of your insurance, I wonder, will this bring down the insurance of bars? Because insurance is only high for bars if you store a lot of cash on site and for the duration of time that you store that cash on site. So that's an interesting one. I wonder, could we also save the money on insurance? And that's something, again, I haven't thought about. So I like this conversation, guys. It's we're getting there together,
Of course.
Yeah, I'm very bullish on Bitcoin. I'm waiting for the ICO.
Yeah.
If we did an ICO, imagine how Purse would react.
Yeah, they'd probably freak out. I mean, there's definitely, this is an interesting time to be involved in that aspect of the cryptoverse.
Yeah, we haven't considered any ICO, to be honest. Like, it might be something for the future, but I would say it's kind of like, I don't understand why people want so much money. Like, do what you can do with what you're given first. Meet that milestone. Do it well. Show it to everyone.
get the credit, then then people will trust you and give, they'll probably give you more money for the next time. I don't believe that ICO should be uncapped. I don't believe in giving startups too much money, to be honest. Especially, at least though, if we did go to ICO, the difference between Bitcard and all the other ICOs is we actually have a product to begin with, right? We actually have history, 2 or 3 years of history of trading. These ICOs have, a lot of them have very little. So from that point of view, maybe, but we're not rushing at the moment. We want to do what we're doing now well, then move on to the next milestone that we have agreed with Dash, do that well. And then, in 6 months, we'll see. There's no rush with these things. I prefer to do it well than to jump into it. And, it's just when you're given, like if you're to raise 10 million or 100 million in one of these ICOs, you're going to be doing other ideas. You're going to be using that money for something else, right? There's so much chance there for risk and everything. So the whole ICO thing is maybe, but we could be the first ICO to accept Dash.
Well, Ethereum, don't clog our blockchain now. We've seen what happened to Ethereum. But I do know those sentiments are actually echoed by people who've been recipients of ICOs. A friend of mine who participated in one himself, he says it's difficult to get his developers to work quite as hard. They spend half the week at the beach now.
Are you serious? That's like that kind of ruins with the work ethic as well of some of these people. They could be very bright and talented when it necessitates. I think a lot of great ideas and great entrepreneurs come out of necessity. When you need to make it, you make it. When you're comfortable, you kind of just sit back, don't you? You kind of just, the stakes aren't so high. So
yes, and I did write some article about the ICO problem, about how Dash solves that by having you have to ask for the money every month or few months, and then people can tell you no.
Great article.
That's a very good point, actually. Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah. The Supernode, man, I'm so for the Supernode. Like it's one of the greatest things I've ever seen in terms of governance. And I have some really good ways of working that into the system here in Ireland. It's a local system. So, yeah, I completely agree that there's no one that comes near Dash in terms of funding and making proposals. You guys are we really so I'd like to have a masternode one day and be involved in that as well. So, we'd be careful what we'd invest in as well, So I think that's very, very important. And there's a lot more interaction. You can comment and stuff. You can't comment on an ICO, right? Not really. You need to go find, maybe they have a thread somewhere, but maybe not. Whereas you can really, it's like an AMA on Dash. You can do an AMA. You can ask me anything when people put proposals to the Supernode. So that's a quite nice feature as well. But yeah, no Dash ICOs just yet. No, maybe we'll wait for the roadmap and maybe we can do it then. I don't know.
Speaking of which, talking about AMAs, we've got a question in the live chat regarding Bitcart.
Okay.
And you kind of briefly touched on it when you spoke about the hotels situation with the gift cards. But they say, is there any chance to see Amazon.de Germany gift cards on Bitcart in the near future, or I guess Europe in general?
Guys, we're in Ireland. It's about to rain. It's actually raining right now. This is typical Ireland. Our barbecue's ruined. What I was going to say, Amazon.de, we have a lot of questions with Amazon.de. There seems to be a lot of German people using Bitcoin. We are not looking to expand at the moment, actually. We are only we're only working at Amazon.com until the near future. We're not looking to expand to Amazon.de. Sorry, I wish I could.
Is there a reason for that? Is it regulations? Is it a complete different process? Or
is it just like a priorities thing?
It's a priorities thing, to be honest. There's not that many. I mean, Amazon.com is huge. There's no other Amazon that really compares to that. And, in terms of English speaking as well, as a major obstacle, trying to get around that in Germany could be difficult. I couldn't even imagine trying to talk to someone on Amazon.de. It just wouldn't be feasible for me at this time. That's not to say in the future we might expand. It's possible. I can't say.
So what you're saying to German speaking people is,
come back in a year.
We could get you this, but you could have a Festi. Why don't you just go with the Festi?
Take a Festi instead. Yeah, definitely. Actually, we did get in contact from it was the German festival. Was that
music festival, right?
Joel, wasn't that a friend of yours or something? You mentioned that. So yeah, maybe they will have Festis sooner than we think.
Yes. Yeah, Germany has so many music festivals and stuff, things that are going on all the time. So there's lots of applicable stuff for that. And you're not alone. obviously, I think I'm the only Dash Force team member that's not actually used Bitcart yet.
Yes, every time he hears about how great your service is, he just sheds a single limey tear.
However, I'm very grateful because it's been used for practically all the other Dash Force mics and stuff for this very podcast on the other side of the pond, of course. But yeah.
That's amazing. I'm really, really happy that you guys have been able to attain like these gift cards and use them, and you're actually recording this interview with that mic. Like that's so funny. Like.
This microphone came from Bitcart. This came from Bitcart. The computer this is running on comes from Bitcart.
Wow.
Yeah, me too. Camera, mic. I don't remember if these did. I think headset, everything. Yeah. Well, we probably need to let Graham get back to his party. We're kind of taking.
Party's over. It's raining. We're living in Ireland, so it's coming up to whatever 9 o'clock here anyway. The party was only going to go to 10, so we'll probably close it up in the next hour anyway, and probably go to a nearby pub or something and talk to them about Festi, of course. So it's funny because we're walking around the city now, and like there's maybe like a group of like 20, 30 of us since last night. That are walking around with them, and people are just like, what is that? Like, you know, we're doing like guerrilla marketing, you know, like going up to people and saying, oh, sorry, do you have your ticket you have your ticket to get in? They're like, what? No, what's that? Like, it's like, oh, it's a Festi. Like, you'd go get one, go talk to the barman, ask him for a Festi, and just leave. It's all just getting out there, you know. It's all just getting. We were thinking of like a gang sign as well, not a gang sign. Like, you know, surfers have this, like rock would have this. So I was thinking Festi is kind of like an F, no, kind of like an F on the side. We've almost finished. It's a work in progress.
Just don't do like an F and then like a U after that. That might be a little bit complicated.
I've got to ask you, Graham, because we were talking about this beforehand, kind of like joking a little bit. But what do you think? Floyd Mayweather, Conor McGregor. You know, everyone's talking about it.
Man, Conor McGregor, are you serious? Just look at that man. Look at that man. Would you be scared to go into a ring with him? I think, like, if it wasn't all about money and everything like that, of course, it's going to be a fight. Like, it's probably going to go to the end. It's probably going to be on points, and Mayweather might win on points, and that'll be a very soft fight for him, like to end his career, and both of them getting over 100 million each. If it wasn't about that and actually about fighting, then Conor McGregor would absolutely destroy him. But because it's not about that, I'm still going to back Conor McGregor, like, definitely, and I'm going to be watching it. Oh my God, it's funny that you mentioned it. I'm actually meeting the bar owner who I say goodbye to there on Tuesday for doing a Festi, in her bar during the stream of Mayweather and McGregor. So I'll let you guys, I'll keep you guys updated about that as well. So if you do that, that would be sick. That would be amazing.
Yes, get that man a Festi. Tell him, get a Festi on your fisty before the fight.
Festi on your fisty. I like it. Amazing.
Yeah, we really need to. I'm in kind of two minds about this. Obviously, being the webmaster of Dash Force, but we're funded by the DAO. I think you're doing such a great job for Dash in terms of merchants. When people have questions, especially with the bit of rivalry that comes with it, you know, people say, well, are people spending Dash? And we're like, yeah, look at Bitcart. This is amazing, all this sort of stuff. And I would love to put maybe like a widget of Bitcart on the thing, but where we have to be balanced and stuff as well, is kind of a bit, it's kind of going into that territory, which is probably a bit dangerous, where people might say we've got a conflict of interest, because it kind of goes into sort of advertising territory. But I think what you're doing is absolutely great. And yeah, definitely keep us posted on any updates, any more festivals that sign up, anything. And these bars as well, like keep it documented, upload photos of it. So could you just tell us the Festi website address again, and any social media that comes with that?
Absolutely. Yeah, you can find us on festipay.com. And you'll find all the information with Festi there. In the next few days, and as a result of this party, we're going to take a look at all the data we collected, get down on the numbers. We're going to have, we had a photographer here today, so we're going to be uploading like photos and videos of this. In a number of weeks, we'll actually have a video tutorial of the actual app. The actual app itself. So once that's actually built, we'll be showcasing everything. Will be on the website, so you can go there, you can check it out. We'll have a roadmap listed up there as well. So you'll get to see and really learn with us and develop with us as we get into new festivals, as we get into new bars, and we develop new things. You know, we want the Dash community to be part of that with us. I suppose Dash's biggest utility is its payments. It's its use of everyday payments. So really, and my response to anyone who believes like that or thinks like that, well, what good is Dash if you can only store it in your masternode? It's no use to anyone. Sorry, but you can't talk to anyone in Cork and say that, you know, you're going to use Dash just to keep it. Like, you're not. But you can tell them that they can buy stuff with it. You can tell them that they can go without their bank and do this. You can empower them to get involved in decentralized systems. Isn't that what we're about? Isn't that what Dash is set out to do? And we shouldn't be hoarding it like people have done for Bitcoin. So I think this is actually a good utility for Dash. And, you know, I hope to prove any doubters wrong. I look forward to. And please, yeah, I mean, always just get in contact if you have any questions, or if anyone wants to learn more, or any more interviews or anything like that. I can always be in touch, mostly on Twitter, I think, as well. That's probably the best way to get in touch with me as well.
Yes, we've definitely been directing some of your more befuddled customers to contact you on Twitter, because
that's
in the times when the
email
was either not listed or then down, and now I noticed you put the email up with the Bitcard at Opera Incubator, so that should work correctly, right?
Yeah, hopefully people can see that on the website. So if they do need to get in contact for support or for any other reason, they can find the email address there. Again, it's support@operaincubator.com. And that should you know, you guys won't have to do dispute resolution live on Dash Force News in the future, hopefully.
Did you notice that last time?
I did. I wasn't watching it live last time. I was watching it a few hours after, and I was like, damn, I wish I was watching this live. Like, but yeah, thanks anyway for just, you know, for I suppose distilling people's doubts, and, you know, just check your spam folder.
Yeah, I would definitely vote to put a Bitcart link up. I mean, it's a service to the community. Put maybe the support contact right below it. That way, people, you know, boom, they all in one place. They know what to do, and yeah.
Yeah, we're moving more towards business adoption, and I think I attribute you to being a Dash ambassador and leading the way for other merchants and other businesses as well to follow in your footsteps. And considering that you didn't do a proposal or anything else, as you said, hard work and putting yourself under that pressure gives you the drive to actually put these ideas forward. I mean, the Festi took me by surprise. With you, Ninja launched it. Do you have any other projects in the works that you're just gonna drop on us out of the blue, or what's going on?
So I'm currently writing the law for blockchain for the European Parliament, and I'm going to have Dash very close to my heart when I go into every one of those meetings. And I say that we want a human right to privacy for communications that cannot be interfered with any government. And I think a lot of people will be moving to Europe when that law becomes realized. So we'll be the member of European Parliament who approached me a number of weeks ago in Brussels will be proposing this to the European Parliament in 12 months. So we have 12 months to basically make Europe a haven for blockchain and for privacy and for private communication. And I really see blockchain as a human right. And I would like to put Dash forward in these deliberations and these legislative drafting that I'll be doing. So this is probably the main project otherwise, which is not really obviously not a commercial product. Like I have a human rights law degree and philosophy degree as well. So that's what I like to do, is actually just look at systems and reform them in a legislative way. So this is a thing that I'm going to be spending a lot of my time doing. So yeah, that's another one I look forward to talking to you about.
Yes, I'll definitely be in contact about trying to hit you up for a specific interview on just that subject, because it's been spent a lot of time thinking and talking about that this week. And it's kind of interesting how we're all on the same page, it seems.
Well, we are, because we all came with this for the same intention. So we all actually are going in the same direction, whether we know it or not. I'm sure most of us would agree with having blockchain as a human right, and to be able to transact and to be able to communicate with privacy is probably what most of our community would believe in Dash, wouldn't they?
I would think so. I would hope so.
Yep. Any more questions in the chat?
I think we're just about running out of time here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll just say to Scott, regarding the plane, now you've got no excuses. Graham's told you his email. So send him up. I'd love to see Bitcart advertised on the plane as well. I think it's a great ambassador, and it gets that message out, and it's the right market as well in America. So yeah, definitely, Scott, email Graham, make it happen.
Guys, people wanted to say something to you here. I don't know, what was it?
Hi guys.
Cheesy end.
Cheesy end works for me.
Cheers, guys.
All right, peace.
I'm going to head back to the party. I'll see you later.
Enjoy yourself. Thanks for joining
Thanks,
us.
guys.
See ya.
Thanks,
Bye.
Graham.
Oh, that was excellent. Excellent.
All right. Well, we got a nice little paradrop from the blockchain ambassador himself.
Yeah, that's exciting stuff. Wow. I mean, they are just, they're
such a
kicking
top,
ass. Yeah.
top bloke. He really is a diamond geezer. Yeah, he's so great for Dash, and he's doing so much. And he hasn't asked for any funding. He's done everything off his own back. True businessman through and through. So I think he does deserve all the praise. And just with any new venture or business, you hit roadblocks in the way. And when issues do come up, he overcomes them and he addresses them, and he doesn't avoid or skip them. He'll answer those questions. So what a fantastic guest. I'm sure Graham won't be a stranger, and he'll be on again in the future. Yeah.
I'll definitely be supporting them tonight. I'm gonna send some support their way and get some gift cards in return.
Yeah, it's also it's an important bit of perspective. Is sometimes when you're trying to do everything, the little details could suffer. So sometimes when you're busy changing the world, it's you forget to put a workable support email up, right? So that's definitely not an excuse, especially if you're a customer of the service and you can't get what you paid for, etc. But it's a little perspective.
Yeah, it's all about the journey, but you can clearly see Graham's got a good heart with good intentions. So yeah, I think he's just going to grow from strength to strength. And I just got this feeling that he's got other ideas and stuff brewing. And Festi is such an amazing idea, just from this podcast, just throwing out other ideas, and from the live chat about children's using payments, amusement parks. The applications for this are kind of unlimited within itself. So I'm really interested to see where this project goes, and hopefully we can get loads of music festivals signing up. So yeah, we'll definitely have to keep a close eye on this one, I think.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do something with Coachella once it goes worldwide. Dash Force Coachella, some kind of contest or something. Yeah,
just fly Dash Force 1 over Coachella.
I remember me and Mark when I was first getting him into the Dash Force. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, we were talking about like flying drones over Coachella or something and dropping some QR codes or something. Yeah, that could still be in the works.
It's interesting actually. Scott actually might be the best person to talk about this. So Joe, I promise I'll do it really quickly because I know we're running late.
Right here in the live chat. So.
Scott, how this conversation me and Brian had a long time ago, before the whole buzzword of marketing sort of came up. But traditionally, I think it might have been in Brian Taylor's Miami speech back in January, and he was saying about getting a Super Bowl ad and all that sort of stuff, spending millions of pounds on it, whatever. And I basically said, well, in terms of marketing and brand awareness, you could probably charter a plane to, make those banners like Dash and that stuff, and you could just fly it. So on those Super Bowl special events, you could fly them over and then get lots of people to take notice. And because it's not something you see every day, the retention of it is probably going to be a lot better. So even if you did, say, like once a month, a different city in the States with the Dash banner flying over, it'd be great. But then obviously me and Brian, we don't fly planes, so we're just like, well, maybe we could do drones, but then drop flyers everywhere on like Coachella and all these events. But it was like, oh, maybe you'll get done for littering. What's the regulations and the laws on that? You couldn't do it in the UK. I know that for certain.
Like most things that are fun.
Yeah, but yeah, all these ideas, although they seem wacky and great, they're actually, sometimes grassroots guerrilla marketing is the best way. Like some of the bars I go to in my town are, you know, proper dives. But, you know, even you go into toilets there's, you know, stickers in the toilets. You even get in a taxi, right? You get in the back of a taxi and there's all these posters and stickers up on that sort of stuff. They do great things. So, like, for example, if you're in a city, say like in London, we've got all these like bicycle people that kind of act as like manual taxis that tourists get in and stuff. You can just put advertising there and you can pay those guys like peanuts basically, and they'll advertise that business for you. So marketing's always a great way of getting out there, and it's genius, guys. So don't wait for other people to do stuff. Like, act on it, get out there. You know. So yeah. Anyway, it's my passionate speech there, but there are lots of ideas. But these only ideas can come out is by actually talking about people. And as Graham rightly said in his thing, like don't be an individual, like work in a team. That's the best way to do it. You can't do everything yourself. And when you actually talk to people, and I can tell you from Teamwork with Dash Force, we all bring different things to the table. We all have different life experiences. And I think that's the great thing. And you can see it in the live chat today, actually. All these people from different countries, different personalities, different walks of life, all these different ideas. And I think that's the value. That's Dash secret sauce. The backbone to Dash is the community. So, yeah.
Yes, get involved. Don't fight with people, because then you fight with them, you don't work with them. And yeah, just make the world a better place. This is the time. The technology has been proven and tested with Bitcoin, and with Dash, it's going to the next level. It's ready. The world's ready. What are you going to do? Wow.
Did you just see Scott's comment?
Our team is offering national anthem flyovers to stadiums, coordinated and legal with local regulations. That would be nice.
Yeah, man. Keep us posted on that, Scott.
Yes. Can we get a skywriter to just write Dash's digital cash through the sky?
See, that's the thing, right? The whole marketing, I mean, this is a whole other conversation. Obviously, there was the Amanda Dash digital cash, and then before that was Dash instant private secure, and then Dash.org. I mean, what's going to relay? If you're just the average Joe blogs and you see that, are you going to Google Dash.org? Like, this is it. You kind of need to. We need to test these things out and, you know, test audiences and see what works, what resonates with people, what's really going to convert and get people to look into things. And I think at the moment, Graham, perfect example, it's about incentives, whether it's merchants with Festi or Brian buying up all the gift cards from Bitcard. So, I mean, I think that's what it comes down to. So I think personally, if Scott would be so awesome to fly plane over Super Bowl and cities and stuff, it would probably resonate and have a much higher traffic, generate more traffic if it was Bitcart, you know, say 15% of Amazon purchases Bitcart than just saying Dash.org, because most people are going to be like, what's Dash? You know, like, why should I search for this website?
Yeah, is Dash that pop star dude that I keep seeing on Twitter? Yes, so the final bit I'd like to leave everyone with, we've got so excited about other people's projects we forgot about our own, right? I'll let Mark break the news because it's kind of in his baby.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, I've just seen Joe give us a head. Shout out to Joe, proposal updates writer, in the live chat now. Not for much longer because we're going to wrap it off this. Yes, it's been a long time coming. We spoke about it last Friday, and today I clicked the button and now translation is live in 5 languages. So now it's 6 languages, including English, is live on the website. We only have 2 articles up on the website for each language at the moment because we had to translate the pages, the categories, the menus, etc., etc. But the plan going forward is to ideally translate 1 article per day in each language and then syndicate that out through various social media profiles for each language. So this has been a long-term coming. I initially thought the translation of the website was going to be a lot more easier, copy and paste like, and there has been a lot of problems this week with regards to the compatibility issues, whether it was the categories, featured images not showing up on certain languages. But at the moment, touch wood, everything is working. And I think what I will do next is, I'm just going on the flow of this. I need to speak to the guys about this. Maybe I'll do it on the Dash forums, or maybe in the Slack, and I'm going to do a poll and say, hey guys, what language would you like to see next on Dash Force? Japan.
Yes.
Japanese, Korean. I mentioned Hindi before, but I mean, let's see what people want. It's a community project, Dash Force, and we're doing this stuff for you. We're the mouthpiece. We're trying to break news every day, but we want you to be part of our journey as well, right? So maybe that'd be a great way going forward. But yeah, please visit the site. There are still some things I'm going to be working on, so be kind. And what next week, maybe on Monday, I'll probably do a translation article, introduce each of the translators, and then by that stage, all the social media profiles for each language should be set up as well, and we can syndicate those. So if you are an international viewer of this podcast, and it's one of your languages as well, you can now follow that and share them with your friends, family, co-workers as well. Dash Force is going global, and we're spreading the Dash gospel to the world. So thank you. Please keep supporting Dash Force. The more you keep supporting us, the more we can keep expanding our projects and do more and more and more. And one more thing on international outreach. Last Friday, I promised I would do a Dash Force China update with Michael. However, on Sunday, there was a bit of an issue with the website, and it kind of crashed and went down for a little bit, and I kind of went in panic mode. But thankfully, that it was resolved pretty quickly and resolved, but that pushed back the translation issue. So next week, I will do a video with Michael, and I'll go over all the China stuff. I was going to do in a written report, but I think you guys need to hear it from Michael himself, because some of the issues we've run into with China and regulations and stuff, I wouldn't do it justice writing up and talk about it myself. I think you've got to be in the country and experience it. And plus my Mandarin isn't that great either. So yeah, please guys, stick around for that, because I know some of you guys have been asking about that. And also I'll give you links to the Dash Force China videos as well.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
China
the final,
also. Yeah, one thing about China, I just saw that the government there is fixing a crackdown on the VPNs. So yeah, China's it's crazy.
Yeah, that reminds me. Speaking to Alex Rue today, so he's a great ambassador for Dash Russia, and at the moment, recently, only about half of Russia can actually connect to dashforcenews.com. Because half the internet service providers have blocked it. I'm currently working on it. This isn't actually due to our hosting per se. It's actually a Cloudflare issue. I don't want to get too technical on it. I need to address it and do an update, but it may require some website downtime. So that will be resolved. Russian is one of the languages that's translated. However, now it's not dashforcenews.com, it's dashforcenews.com/RU for Russia. So hopefully that might resolve some of the issues, although a lot of it is IP based. Yeah, and we will be syndicating these articles for each language on Facebook, Twitter, Steemit, the international Dash communities that have Telegram channels. And this is what the translators will be doing as well. So really, the whole outreach of Dash Force is really extending now. So we're just like the spider, but now the spider web is growing out. And this is the international outreach that we've always wanted to do. And now we're starting to build communities at grassroots level for each language. And we're going to become much stronger. And then we're going to get big carts and businesses and entrepreneurs and all these different languages and inspire people. So this is what Dash Force is about.
Yeah,
so
one last thing.
Project before individual.
Yeah, one last thing, and we'll give it to Joel to wrap up. Bitcoin price is crashing, continues to crash. Our hash rate is just under 10 terahash, and the masternode count is over 4,500, 4,557 to be exact.
Yeah. You're going to be the new network stats guy.
Yes, Joe asked. That was going to be my final word was hash rate. Just as a little inside joke, I don't really give a crap. But anyway, Dash has been very solid. My final word is, I used to be a general crypto writer, and there'd be slow news days here and there. You know, Bitcoin heavy world, then any other little coin have to sort of wrap other subjects in there. When I started writing about Dash exclusively, pretty much, I wondered for a while if I'd have enough content to feed off of. I was pretty scared, in fact, that I would like write a few good Dash stories and just literally have nothing and just have terrible content. But I'm still able to crank out a few articles every day. And this is such, I imagine if I was writing for, I'm not going to crap on another coin, but like imagine if I was writing for another coin, what would I have to write about all the day, right? Dash is just so many people involved, so many things going on. Just, it's so deep. And I think we backed the right horse here, fellas.
Yeah, definitely. So just a reminder to everyone, please like, subscribe, and share this video. We hope you found it to be informative and enjoy it. It's meant to be relaxed nature. So yeah, please share it. It really, really helps us, and subscribe to the channel. And yeah, we hope that you have a fantastic weekend. And guys, would you like to leave any departing remarks before we go?
That's all, folks.
Same bad time, same bad channel next week.
Okay, guys, sorry we went a bit over time, but obviously special guest. Next week, if all goes to plan, we've got Charlie Shrem talking about the long-awaited Dash debit card proposal update. You want to know it. We want to know it. Charlie should be here to discuss it. So next Friday, 3 p.m. EST, 8 p.m. GMT, if you're European. Don't miss it. This is highly anticipated. So keep it locked to Dash Force News. We're here for you. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Signing out, Dash Force News.
Bye-bye, guys and gals.